If I could start the sugar diet all over again, or start my high carb, low fat lifestyle all over again, these are the things that I would do. I would prioritize rest and minimize my stress. So that means that you need to maybe work a little bit less. I'm hearing people work like 12 hours a day. That seems like that's your entire life. And how do you suppose to get proper rest and have your nervous system calm down if you're constantly working? And I understand that a lot of people are in a place where they feel like this is no choice to them. But if I was starting over again, I would try to take the work back to something more manageable, like 7-8 hours a day, like most people do. And definitely early nights. Early nights meaning 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, go to bed. I would be prioritizing water and make distilled water something of a priority, or reverse osmosis water. So I've drank a lot of distilled water in my life, and I do think it's the best kind of water to drink. It's not that available here where I am, but once I'm back in North America, I will be right on distilled water all the time. It doesn't contain any extra minerals and doesn't get stuck anywhere. So that would be it. And drinking before meals, like I said, and as soon as I wake up. I think some people might be waiting too long to consume something in the mornings. So like I said, I have my water, at least 500 mils to a liter. And then you should be eating something or drinking something right away. You shouldn't be waiting for an hour. This is when you can kind of start to get cravings for coffee. This is when you can start to get cravings for something that you don't need, like eggs and olive oil or butter on toast. So prioritize getting something in the body right away. Even if it's just a couple pieces of candy while you make something else, or have some fruits, have a fresh juice. You don't need to add sugar to everything, but if you want to add sugar, please do that. So it would be getting breakfast as soon as you wake up. It wouldn't be waiting and taking care of things or cleaning up or going shopping. We shouldn't be doing these things fasted, especially if you want to curb your cravings. Another thing that I would do is that as soon as I have a craving for something that I know I shouldn't have, that's outside of the plant-based model that I'm following, I would chug some juice. Chug some juice before you go have that meat. Chug some juice before you have that cheese. Chug some juice before you go think about having eggs. That's what I would suggest, because it will certainly curb your appetite. If I was starting this diet all over again, I would be very, very, very strict with myself. I was in a place where I kind of didn't have the opportunity to cook. So in the beginning, I really didn't have rice or potatoes or anything like that. So I would be prioritizing probably sweet potatoes over white potatoes, and white potatoes over rice, and rice over pasta, and pasta over bread. So that's kind of the tiers that I'm using for starch, because they have, sweet potatoes are fiber, they have a lower amount of protein, they have a lot of macronutrients, they have vitamin C. It's like, and they're very easy to take on the body. They don't create a lot of mucus when they eat them. So I would be having more of like raw salads and sweet potato together. I would have curbed away the olives a lot sooner. So the olives kind of became this addiction for me. I love olives. I've always loved salted things. So I would have cut the olives out more. It was more of like a comfort food, and it was something that I sort of told myself I needed when I really didn't. So I would say that I would stop making excuses. And I think a lot of people make excuses, and I am one of them as well. I fell to my emotions and things like this. And instead of taking this advice that I'm giving you now, I gave in to those cravings. So no meat, no cheese, no eggs. If you have these cravings, chug some juice, eat some fruit with sugar, have some candy, have some jam, have some maple syrup, have something that's sugary so that it'll curb your appetite. Another thing that I would do if I started all over again is I would prioritize sort of raw foods and juices during the day, and not end the meal or the day with like a heavy cheese and olive thing like I did. I would have rather have had any kind of starch, but like I said, I would go sweet potatoes, white potatoes, rice, pasta, bread, and oats. at the bottom because they contain a lot more fat, and bread is usually having like some oil in it. That's another thing I would get rid of is oil. And I would also stop with the salt. Everyone has their own opinion on salt. Everyone has their own research on salt. But from what I've done in the last week with salt has increased my taste buds to the point where I'm so enjoying the food without salt. And I didn't think that that was really possible. And I always thought salt was so important. So I guess my advice to you is to be very strict with yourself and very realistic with yourself. Why are you doing this? It's because you want to lose weight. When I started, I needed to gain weight. So this is my advice to people who want to lose weight. You have enough fat on your body to get through. You have enough fat for your hormones. You have enough fat. You need to cut the fat at 10 grams maximum per day. And worry not about protein. Chickpeas are high. Beans are high in fat and protein in comparison. So just be careful. Read the labels. Commit to it. You have to find your why. When you figure out why you're doing this, it's because you want to be insulin sensitive. It's because you want to take care of your family. It's because you want to be around and happy and healthy. It's because you've failed yourself in other diets and you've slowed your metabolism down and you've screwed up your hormones and you've been addicted to things like stimulants or alcohol, or you've let these things just sort of be in your life when they really didn't serve you as well as you thought. You have to take your life back into your own hands and find the why to what you're doing this for. And it's ultimately for you so that you can be healthy, so that you can give something to this world. So just a quick video for today. If I was new to this, I would have been more strict with myself. But when I was new, I was so underweight. So I'm giving you advice if you're overweight. And that's a lot of people on the sugar diet. If you're overweight, this is the advice I would give to you. Skeleton City is in tier 1. I would suggest somewhere between switching from days of tier 1 to tier 2. And tier 1 includes a lot of vegetables, okay? Includes a lot of fruit. It doesn't include the starches, and it doesn't include bananas or whatever. But I would encourage you to even have a little bit of starch, even if you have that little bit of craving. You don't have to have potatoes and potatoes and potatoes. You can have a little sweet potato, have a couple potatoes, 100 grams or less, and that should sort of satisfy this texture that you're looking for, this taste that you're looking for, and the warmth that you're looking for. So I hope you enjoy this video. Please let me know in the comments if this answers some questions for you, and if you have any more, I will be answering them going forward. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.